claim such a thing? When dealing with financial transactions, thing that you like a lot, money? Of course not. Too high risk. So why do you apply this when it comes to the existence of God? There's a problem. Well, then the atheist might respond and say, you know what? It's still going to be by chance. I say, fine. If you're going to act that ridiculously, then I believe that my mother is a green rhino. She was born on Pluto and she flew here on a Lamborghini with wings. He would say, well, you're an idiot, Mr. Hamza Tzortzis. But there's a chance. Do you see my point? You can't have a conversation anymore. Also, it's not just about chance. It's something what the theorists, they call specified probability. Now, what does this mean? Specified probability is a very high chance, but it conforms to an independent pattern. I'll give you an example. Say we have a monkey in this room. A monkey, okay? And the monkey is typing away for 24 hours. And then when you wake up in the morning, you see printed on a piece of paper, "Oh Romeo, oh Romeo, where art thou, O Romeo? Deny thy father and deny thy name." A Shakespearean play. Now you would expect to find words such as the, cat, wall, chair, Sheffield University, yeah? Abdullah ibn Masud, yeah, all these words maybe. But since you have a Shakespearean play, and it conforms to independent pattern of English grammar, you must say, it must have been the head of the ISOC that had the keys, sedated the monkey and typed away himself. Do you see my point? So it's not just about chance, it's about something called specified probability. So this is why we've got greater reasons to believe it must have been supernatural design after removing logically and via reflection that chance and physical law are not justifications for this fine-tuning of the universe to permit our existence. Again, the Quran, the book of the Muslims, in Surah Baqarah, the 2nd chapter, eloquently brings this to life. The Creator says, "In the creation of the universe, and the alternation of the night and day, and the ships which sail the seas to people's benefit, and the water which God sends down from the sky, by which He brings to earth life when it was dead, and scatters about in it creatures of every kind, and the varying directions of the winds, and the clouds subservient between the heavens and the earth. These are signs for people who use their intellect." Now the main argument from the atheists, Richard Dawkins for example, that could be found in his book in page 157 to 158, he says, this sounds like a strong argument. Yeah. But who designed the designer? Penny drops. If there's a supernatural designer, then why don't we ask that question about the supernatural designer? Who designed the designer? Well, there's a huge problem here. And the problem is this. Even in the philosophy of science, the best explanation doesn't require an explanation. I'll give you an example. Say we go to the big park down the road in 500 years' time, and my great-great-great-great-grandson becomes an archaeologist, and he's digging away, and he finds some computer screen, the brother's glasses, the sister's hijab, or the brother's Nike trainers. He would conclude that there must have been a civilization here. Wait a minute. Richard Dawkins' great-great-great-great-grandson comes along and says, how can you conclude there was a civilization here? We don't know where they came from. Does that mean my great-great-great-grandson's conclusion is not the best conclusion? Of course not. And if we do use that kind of philosophy, then we could say, if we have the best explanation, and we always require an explanation of the best explanation, then why don't we have an explanation of the explanation that requires the best explanation? And the explanation of the explanation that requires an explanation of the explanation, and then the explanation of the explanation of the explanation of the explanation for the best explanation. If you do that forever, you wouldn't even have science today. So the question itself is nonsensical. Also, if we translate this question into Who caused the thing that cannot be caused? It's equivalent of me saying that my friend John is in hospital and he's delivered twins. What's the gender, brothers? Yes.
Boys?
Boys! But John's a man, he can't have twins. So you're asking the wrong question for the wrong type of reality, which we say is the uncaused cause. So brothers and sisters, let's go to the third argument. God makes sense of right and wrong, of objective morals. Now, imagine I place here on the table a 3-year-old boy, very innocent looking. Imagine there's an angelic boy right next to me. And what I do is I take my knife and I slice his head. You would think that is wrong, right? Put your hand up if you believe it's wrong. Someone's very immoral. Okay, so we all conclude that is 100% morally wrong. Not only do we conclude it's 100% morally wrong, we would still believe it's wrong if I was powerful enough to brainwash everybody. Hamza Tzortzis, brainwashing everybody to think it was okay thing to do. It would still be a wrong thing to do. This is what we mean by objective. It's not based upon consensus. Who says so? Rather the reality of what right and wrong is. Now, you can only believe this if God exists. Think about this. You can only believe this if God exists. Now this doesn't mean atheists do not display good behavior. Of course they do. Sometimes. Most of the time. But it's not about behavior. It's about if this thing is objective 100% wrong, it necessitates the existence of God. Because God is the only idea, is the only concept that goes above human difference, human subjectivity. But the atheist would argue, we have other forms to make this 100% right and wrong. But what are they? There's two options. Evolution and social pressure. Okay, let's use the Quranic method of thinking and approach these two sources of morality. Evolution. But what does evolution say, brothers, sisters and friends? It says we're an accidental byproduct of a long evolutionary process. Our morality has evolved like your toenails or your teeth. This is the reality of evolution. This is why Michael Rules, a very famous atheist scientist, he says morality is just a biological adaptation, no less than our hands, feet and teeth, considered as a rationally justifiable set of claims about an objective something. Ethics and morals is illusory, it's an illusion. And he says, I appreciate that when someone says, love thy neighbor as thyself, they think they're referring above and beyond themselves. And he continues, nevertheless, such reference is truly without foundation. Morality is just an aid to survival and reproduction. Any deeper meaning is illusory. Well, one would argue, the atheist may argue, but we're human beings. But how can you claim that we're something special when we're accidental byproducts of a long biological process? How can you claim any special about human beings? Significantly, if we're just mammals and we're just primates. Also, if you claim there's something special about human beings, I would argue that speciesism, the unjustified bias for particular species. Now, if you say animals have morality, therefore we have morality, I disagree too. Animals do not have a moral paradigm. Because when you see the lion ripping the neck and drinking the blood of the deer, you don't say it's murder, you don't say it's homicide, you say it's acting according to its instincts. When you see the cat playfully killing the mouse or the rat and ripping its eyes out, you don't say it's homicide or murder, you're saying it's just playing around, it's acting according to its instincts. Also, if our biology is always changing, our morality will change too. If the claim is that our morals come from the evolutionary process. So it doesn't become objective anymore. Because this could change one day. If we happen to believe that 3-year-old